So I'm leaving the gym, and normally what I try to do when I'm at the gym is I try to listen to something that's going to motivate me in my mind or help strengthen my mind. I used to listen to music all the time, but now that I'm really trying to get stronger with God, I try to constantly have things on spiritually or something that's going to help elevate me. In where I'm trying to go financially, or just something positive. I'm always trying to listen to a podcast or some scriptures or a pastor. And lately I've been listening to Philip Anthony Mitchell. He's here in Atlanta and he's on fire for the Lord. And he was talking about Matthew 18, and he said, unless you change and become like these little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. And that's in Matthew 18. And he said, because children are humble and we are so prideful. And he was talking about American Christians, because he's from Trinidad originally. And he was just saying that American Christians, because we have so much false doctrine in churches, that's about prosperity gospel, and it's just foolish doctrine in most churches, or it's about a business, that we are misconceived to think that God worships us and we don't worship God. So we're always asking God for things, and when we don't get them, then we're upset with God, and we're just so puffed up in pride in this country, and it's all about us. Because when you think about it and look on social media, it's all about self-love, and just pride. People are on social media just all about themselves. And it just made me think, when I was at the gym, I have been working out for so long. When I go in the gym, I'm like on beast mode. I don't really talk to anybody. I'm just in a zone. And a lady told me one time that I seemed very intimidating to approach, and I don't want to be like that. Like, I'm not trying to be intimidating. I feel like it's weird for me to be in there just smiling all the time, but I want to be approachable because I'm a very humble person. If you're on the outside looking in, maybe sometimes you may think, if you don't know me, that I'm not, but I'm a very humble person, and I try to always be humble because I never want to be puffed up in pride. I hate prideful people, and I hate it when people are arrogant, and God hates that. He hates an arrogant, prideful person that, it's just all about them. And when I was at the gym, I was checking myself when I was listening to him. And that's why it's so important for you to really meditate. When God says to meditate on my word day and night, study these scriptures, because the minute that we get out of the things of God is the minute we fall into pride. And pride is the enemy's workshop. And because he's the ruler of this world for a short time, he will always slip in with some type of pride. And because in this country, we have been living in pride for so long, it just seems normal to us. We don't even check ourselves until we hear a sermon from a real pastor that can get us together. And that's what Philip Anthony Mitchell is. He's a real pastor. He's all about the scriptures, and he's going to tell it like it is. He's not about no prosperity gospel. He's going to give it to you rough and raw. He's from Queens, New York, and he don't play. And I love that. I love someone that gives it to me raw. Like, give it to me raw. Don't sugarcoat nothing. Don't put no chaser on it. I want it raw, because that's the only way I'm going to change. I do not mind for someone to critique me. I do not mind constructive criticism, because that's how I'm going to grow. And I felt like he was talking to me, because I can go to the gym and I can be puffed up in pride. I feel it. Like, if I get into the gym, like, I've been doing this for so long, I go to the equipment, I know it, and I just be in my zone. And that really could be pride. I could be really in pride. And so it was checking me to say, wow, I need to become like a little child, because what that scripture means is that unless we change and become like a little child, we will not enter the kingdom of heaven, because a child is humble. A child just wants to be played with. They just want to be with the person that they love. They are not, all these things that you see now in America, this country that is puffed up in pride, that they're doing with their children, all this extra stuff. It's just really setting them up to be prideful adults, because children are the most simplistic. They're happy with the basics, but we are the ones that just go over the top and give them way too much, and we don't instill good values in them. And then they grow up with a sense of entitlement and add to the craziness that we already are dealing with. So I just wanted to say, definitely try to feed your mind, just like we need to feed our body good nutrition so that we can go to the gym and perform with the highest endurance that we have because of good nutrition. We have to constantly feed our mind, because unless the mind is healthy, nothing else is going to be healthy. You won't even come to a gym if you don't have a healthy mind. So feed your mind while you're at the gym. Feed your mind when you're going to the grocery store. Put your your AirPods on, because the enemy is busy. Every second he's busy trying to, sneak into your head. He will sneak into your head and make you have doubt. He'll sneak into your head and make you just be feeling yourself, thinking you more than what you are. And we cannot be helpful to people and be available to people when we're all about ourselves. God cannot use you, and you will not ever live out your full purpose that God intended in pride. So humble yourselves. Humble yourselves so that you can be available to impact this world.